right, buddy? Just super thick. Dad is finally doing his last stretch of 2025 hay. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Monday evening, I guess you could say. And back from practice. It's a toasty one today. Actually feels pretty nice now, but on the dock for tonight, we are moving the cows. We fed them an oats bale yesterday, but we are going to move them onto the sorghum field today, the old sorghum field. It's not actually sorghum now. And then we'll feed them a bale tomorrow. But first, yesterday I drained out their water tank so that it would be nice and empty for today. And I'm gonna fire that guy back up, try and get a little bit more out of it. Here's do the huge. And we'll set up some wires, do the huge, and we'll let them in, because I know they're ready to go. Let's get some wires open, and we gotta find that break in the line. We'll move them over. It'll be pretty easy. They know where they're going. Starting round 4 tonight. Hey, and if you could, smash that like button down below. Help support the channel. Show us you like what we're doing here in this video, and what we're doing at Ohrmundt Simmentals. And if you hadn't had a chance yet, definitely subscribe to the channel. Help us get to our goal of 2,000 subs. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Follow along for more. We got weaning of these guys like him, in like a week or 2. And then we got chopping corn, picking like in a month or 2. All sorts of fun stuff. Let's get these guys moved because they're hungry. There's a lot of clover in here. That is like the first thing I'm noticing. And no, I haven't found any 4-leaf clovers yet. Give me time though. Give me time. I'll find one. But there's some nice grass in here too. Nice regrowth. Definitely like the way this came back. So there's probably 2 days worth of grass on here. We'll probably keep them here on maybe 3 or 4 days and mix in some bales. They really are liking those oats bales, so we'll probably keep giving that to them, mostly because we want to try and get these guys built back up as good as nice as possible, so that they can winter a little bit easier. You know, we don't, and when we start using the old hay, we're gonna mix it in. We're not just gonna go old. We're gonna mix it in. It'll be like an every other day type of thing. So it's not just gonna be, hey, you guys are gonna suffer through like a month of old hay. Yeah, nothing like that. So yeah, everybody's looking really good. This guy is just tanked out in the last couple of weeks. Right, buddy? Just super thick. You know, he's maybe like a little bit shorter this way, you know, like his proportion, whatever, but I love the thickness. And I think what I've noticed on flex is that they'll get their frame, their hip height a little bit more before they get their body length. I think Factor has been a good example of that. Like, he showed he was a little bit taller, but now he's definitely shown that length of spine that I really like. I like a long body, moderate frame. He is not big at all by any means, like physically. I mean, he's obviously big. He probably runs about 1,800 pounds. You know, he's 2.5-year-old. So we got some good decisions to make, whether or not we're going to try and run him another year. Definitely a couple little concerns would obviously be her or her. photo's daughter would be a concern. His daughters, breeding his daughters. Now we would, for those scenarios, I mean, we've been through this before, keeping bulls a third year, and we used to do that, keep a bull for like 3 years. We would just have to keep in at AI time, maybe give them a little extra chance to catch on AI. But ultimately, if they breed their daughter, these guys aren't so closely bred. Is it good for Factor to breed one of his daughters? It's not ideal. But are we concerned they're going to come out with a fifth leg or a third eye or something like that? No. Are they going to be a little slow maybe? Might be a chance of that. But they're too, very low. Because the rest of their pedigrees, you know, even, you know, the rest of her pedigree other than Factor is very far away. As you know, if you look back in their pedigrees will split. You know, you'll have a sire down one side, you'll have a dam down the other side, or if you look at it this way, horizontal, like most pedigrees are shown. And I can show you an example of one. You know, you'll have sire on the top side, you'll have dam on the bottom side. So then you just expand that and you look at how many generations back until you get something that's the same. And then you look at how close that is, and is that considered inbreeding, line breeding. But if he was to breed his daughter next summer, other than the fact that he's his daughter, the rest of the pedigrees are so far apart, I would say there's probably little chance there'd be an issue. Would we want to keep that resulting calf? I would not keep that resulting calf. That would be my thing. Even if it came out, unless it was like the best calf we have on the whole entire farm that year, that'd be my only reason to keep that calf. But then you would have to ensure that anything that shares a similar pedigree could not be used on that animal. Okay, there she is, Barb's daughter Magnolia. All right, so Barb's daughter Magnolia. So this is actually a really good example. So when we bought Barb from Stanley Martin's sale a couple of years ago, she was bred and had Magnolia. And she is sired by Stanley's bull Pollum. Well, Pollum is also an Oakview Factor son. So Factor is an Oakview Factor son. Now, if Factor breeds Magnolia, I am not overly concerned even to keep that resulting calf. I'm not overly concerned that there'll be issues. Dad wasn't feeling the greatest today. I actually kind of had to scold him a little bit. He was doing a little bit more than he should have. So he wasn't really able to he raked a little bit of that hay, but with the way he was feeling, I didn't want him doing that either. So when I get home tomorrow, I'm taking a half day. I'm going to be home a little before 11. Basically be jumping on the 29, heading up there, raking pretty much all day. And we'll see how dad is, but him or me will start baling at about 3. There's honestly only about 30 bales worth of hay up there, so it's maybe an hour's worth of baling. That's why we want to try and get the groups of 4, which is why we got the rake set up to help us do that. I'll give you a sneak peek of what that looks like again, just extending those booms out. So I'm gonna grab these guys a couple buckets of grain and call it a day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, how's it going? All right, it is Tuesday morning, technically Tuesday morning, or like Grandma used to say, it's forenoon. It's like 11 o'clock. So Grandma would always throw that term around, forenoon. Once you got around like that 10 o'clock, 10:30 range, it was forenoon. But we are jumping on the John Deere 2940, hooked to the coon rake, and we're heading up the hill. I've got a lot of raking to do. We got about 15 acres on the ground, give or take. But I got to go through it once to bring the 2s together, and then I got to try and go through it again and bring 4s together. I got to start out on one chunk that was a little thicker and nicer. I got to check it first, make sure it's even ready to bring together. We've got the sun, we've got some breeze, temps coming on, it's already in the mid 70s, so it's a really nice day. Let's get going. All right, so this stuff looks really, really good. But one thing we did the other day is we widened these arms out. So we brought this out a notch, which would be good, and I'm gonna have to go back to this when we bring 2s into 4s. But just bringing 2s together, I gotta bring this back. It's not gonna work because I'm in the middle and I'm pulling a quarter of a roll on both sides. So it took me about an hour and a half, and I got everything set up so that I can now go through and finish it. So I've gotten my 2s pulled together. Now I'm pulling those 2s together to make 4s. It's good quality hay. I wish we had 3 times as much, but we don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these arms back apart. I had brought them, we had adjusted them out. Now I'm bringing them back, brought them back in. Now I'm gonna put them back out. Just because the way that these rows set up with the arms in as far as they are, like I'm just barely grabbing the edge of the row. So I'm giving myself an extra foot to be able to pull everything together. So let's get these pushed back apart. We'll get rolling, get finished. All right, we just finished up. It's not all pretty, but that's all right. Definitely got some good quality grass out here, and we might get the bale count that we want. Hoping for, like, if we got 30, that would be awesome. 20, that's like our minimum. So we'll see what we get. Let's head to the shop and get Dad rolling. So Dad is just cooking right along. So Dad made it over here to the neighbor's little half-acre chunk. This is, like I said, this is really old, first crop, but there's some good grassy regrowth in there. But we cranked her back up to 58-inch bales, our 4x5s. We're just gonna run them as our first crop. There's a lot of different stuff. We did seed this down for him. So there's some ryegrass, some orchard grass, a little bit of clover. I think there might be a little alfalfa in here too. I can't remember. It was like 3 years ago. So this field did turn out pretty decent. There's a lot of nice grass in here. So this will come back next year. See, this is the stuff right here that is not very desirable. This is like that swamp grass type stuff. If it's cut and mixed into a bale, it's not a big deal. The cows don't mind it. But the baler turned out to be doing some pretty darn decent work this year. We got her all tuned up. So nut wrap is looking pretty decent. The bales are awesome. I think we're pretty happy with the baler. Definitely pretty happy. So nice investment. It's in good shape. It'll stay in good shape hopefully for quite a while. It was really, really nice. Today they said it was, like 2 days ago they said no chance of rain on Tuesday. Yesterday they said there's only a slight chance of thunderstorms, but nothing's getting any further east than Highway 13, which is about 45 minutes from us. And then this morning they said nothing's getting any further east than I-39 Highway 51, which is 3 miles east of us. So that stuff all ended up going north of us, north and west of us. So that was nice. It stayed away. All right, after I swear like 6 circles he did trying to clean up that end, Dad is finally doing his last stretch of 2025 hay. Like I said, I hope we're pulling the baler back out in about 6 weeks to do corn stalks. Straw is done. First crop obviously is done. Second crop is now coming to an end. thankfully. You hit the auto wrap. All right, I got my leaf blower is at the farm, so Dad's gonna stop there. I'm gonna give this thing at least a good once over to blow it off. I'm gonna let Dad get a little bit of a head start, and then we'll meet him at the farm, blow that thing out, and then we'll see what else I have to do. I noticed an issue. I did not move the steers because for whatever reason at the end of the line, like the very end of the line, like in the BDA fence area, like it barely even flashes like 500 volts, which is weird because there's only like maybe what 300 yards worth of fence that isn't in common with another spot where I check it, and it was at 4,000 volts. So the cows, keeping the cows in, it's got at least 4,000 volts. That's plenty. That's fine. I'm not gonna let them in the BDA if there's not even 500. All right, and then we get to end the night using the Milwaukee leaf blower, which works really, really well when you have charged batteries. But I got it pretty clean. It wasn't too bad. I think we ended up with 27 bales or something like that today, which honestly is okay. It's fine. It's not great or spectacular, but for us it's fine. For the amount of time I spent raking, we probably should have gotten like 100, but it is what it is. It's still really, really good quality hay. It's very fine, grassy hay. It's the stuff we want to give calves the moment they walk in the yard here, which they're going to be doing in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So yeah, we're gonna call this the end of the video. I hope you guys liked the video. Smash that like button on your way out. It's the end of 2025 hay season. The only thing we got left to bale would be corn stalks, so we're crossing our fingers we get some of those. And if you guys got any questions on how we did for haying, how we did for anything else with the baler, any other questions with the baler, please drop them in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. We're getting really close to 2,000 subs, so yeah, please hit the subscribe button. And as always, thanks for coming along.